The global financial economy is imploding, and capitalists are keen to control the narrative on the world's media platforms to save face and profits. Manto Pagati's career is a medium for structural economic transformation and social reform. As a development communications specialist, Pagati has made it her gainful enterprise to reach and connect journalists in Babane, Lusaka, and Lilongwe with their audiences internationally, encouraging them to, quote-unquote, follow the multimedia approach. Pagati's Facebook account showcases her passions, agriculture, and the international call for a universally just national response to climate change. As this self-driven black female journalist pioneers the protection of grassroots economies by placing their mandate at the forefront of modern African media, our Ministry of Information and Communication Technology is in the process of rolling out its cybersecurity program. What has been the most popular form of media production and consumption in Eswatini thus far is tabloid journalism. That is the most firmly established economy within the multimedia industry, employing networks of highly skilled human labor and costly infrastructure to safeguard the secrets of the rich, some of which have the potential to liberate thousands from poverty, starvation, and illness. Pagati enunciates the above fact powerfully, offering that, and I quote, most of these organizations produce a lot of information from research which could be repurposed and disseminated through digital media platforms, including blogs, websites, social media, etc. Organizations spend millions of dollars producing very useful information, but they still fail to make it accessible to their audiences because they do not take full advantage of technology. Producing research documents whose information fails to reach its potential users is a total waste of resources. While the digital platforms are useful, the content production skill has never been more critical than it is now. Close quotes. That said, it's frustrating how biased and rigid Eswatini's ICT ministry is in disseminating HIV literature and service delivery strategies. At the start of 2019, the Eswatini Broadcasting and Information Services announced a network of health centers where Emaswati are invited to test for the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, and to enroll in the HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis or PrEP program. Thus, the Ministry of ICT served as a marketing platform for the historically disputed 1985 US patent, the HIV blood test, and for the US-owned PrEP drug Truvada, instead of, quote-unquote, fostering and mediating a debate among HIV-infected persons, scientists, and healthcare providers to critically assess current beliefs and practices. This quote is taken from a 2014 Texas A&M University journal sponsored by the U.S. Office of the Vice President for Research. According to the Washington Post in March of 2019, Truvada is also a disputed U.S. patent since 2015. The article states that the makers of Truvada, Gilead Sciences, earned $3 billion from Truvada sales last year, after President Trump withdrew $4.2 billion of the taxpayers' money from the Clinton-owned President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR. During his first week in office in 2017, supporters of the HIV program within the White House are now suing Gilead Sciences for intellectual property rights over the creation of the HIV vaccine. Be reminded that HIV antiretroviral therapy, or ART, became compulsory in 2015 under the Ministries of Public Health in both the Republic of South Africa and Eswatini, immediately upon a reactive or positive diagnosis from the 1985 US-owned blood test. According to this official timeline for the latest events affecting Eswatini's national HIV program, it is a 1985 US patent that is responsible for the lack of democratic thought about the science of HIV literature and medical practice. This is a genocidal state of capture. At the forefront of the cybersecurity mandate, a developing economy like our own needs to prioritize ethical and socially uplifting job creation solutions. To revisit Pagati's recommendation to African media houses, I urge our Ministry of ICT to pursue a balanced mandate for HIV-related communications instead of its presently profit-driven and academically despotic policy for public health and education in Eswatini. The products and services related to HIV diagnosis, treatment, prevention, and education can and should be as diverse as the unique communities they service, employing local students to keep the medical literature current at grassroots level. In this, the potential for economic growth within the local labor markets for quality assurance standards and within tax revenue accrued to local innovation is colossal. In 2013, I conducted the program for a hugely successful fundraising event at House on Fire, where several local organizations and individuals were working to build a clinic of homeopathy at Pine Valley, specialized to service HIV patients. One of the keynote speakers there was journalist and social activist Vusi Matsebula, who publicly discloses his HIV-positive status. That initiative never saw the light of day. I implore our Ministry of ICT to change Eswatini's HIV story, instead of continue to miscarry social justice due to bilateral dictates.